The old era of holiday Christmas Eve is some people still have to work, except for the elitist of influence because they never work. They're non-contributors to society. They never deliver on anything to anyone except for how do I get the audience to do this so that I can feel this, so that I can get this, so that I can occur as this, so that I can fuel myself into this while never, ever, ever giving anything back to anyone while just pretending to give back through conversations of how do you feel? How do you feel conversations from Drew Barrymore fuels her ego in her way of confidence. So fueling her dialogue for her movie role as a television person. Understand that. So you ladies are sitting in the audience and you are all very well aware. You're very fucking aware that she has no fucking clue how to be a real person. You really know in your deep depth of your brain. I know you have a brain because you are smarter than Drew Barrymore. You are more influential to your community of women through conversation of talking like a normal person, not in nonsense and garbage. You are more intelligent than Drew Barrymore will ever be. She grew up with a mother who took her to weird-ass parties where she did drugs at 13 and 12, where she was tossed around like a rag doll, and that's her mental status because she's never done any real work, which is why she stands around and does that weird-ass shit. It's not normal to be a talk show host and to try to give you therapy in the process about her opinion about things. That's what they're all doing. Let me gossip with you. Let me talk about deep trauma experiences of themselves to try to trauma dump on all of you. You are smarter than this, that you are smarter than them, and it's very clear how you actually feel about Mona Van, and it is very clear what I exposed in I had to be in the trenches to expose this for you ladies. I had to be in the trenches to expose this for you. And every single time they jumped in front of you because you sat back and you waited. How do you stop a bitch who's a bully in your real life? It's the same way you stop a Mona Van or a Chloe Flowers or a fucking bitch Drew Barrymore. They try to make you feel less than, just like they did in high school, just like Jessica Alba does with her weird-ass outfits. And now they're blurring the lines of Hollywood and humanity while they've always lived in delusional land. Imagine yourself getting out of a car with a bunch of mean-ass people standing in front of you and you acting like a princess where you wave to a bunch of people that you do not like. You actually despise them, but you know that you're going to get some form of attention. Who's the attention from? That would be you as the audience. How do you think Taylor Swift has built her weird-ass brand of violence without it actually being violence? While she then taught Abrams, and she then taught Sabrina Carpenter, and Olivia Rodrigo jumps on board. While you all clearly know, no matter what age you are, you clearly know that their shit is fucking garbage. You know that shit ain't good. You know that shit's nasty. You know that shit's boring. You know that shit is literally annoying as shit. You know that shit ain't American. You know that shit ain't safe to go to. You know she's not a nice person. You know that Taylor Swift is an abusive woman who has literally tried to assault children. You're trying to give kudos to what? The Kansas City Chiefs for inviting her into the stands? Men clearly know that that was a fucked up move. We all know everything that these people are doing on platform is fucked up. It's weird as fuck, and it makes absolutely no sense why would you be interested? Think about this. I'm going to ask you this question because these are the questions that need to be asked. Why? This is not judgment. This is because you've been brainwashed. Why would you be interested in watching an unintelligent person tell you that she's not confident? And then tell you about electromagnetic waves as she shows off Christmas, where she wears a Christian Dior sweater. And an empty house with no decoration. Like no color in the house. It's all like beige and blah brown and blah. Why would you be interested in that? What about that is appealing? You don't want to live there. What is it doing to your mental stability is the question you want to ask yourself. Because this one I've struggled with trying to explain because it doesn't leave you feeling uplifted. It leaves her feeling confident as if she got one over on you. I mean, she does no work in her existence except for try to abuse you as the audience. What about these women and you sitting there watching them tell you about how they didn't have to wear a diaper after they just went to the hospital to have an infant? And then she tells you about all of the horrifics of having a kid that has nothing to do with anything, but she has nothing to talk about. Your duty as a woman is to keep that shit behind the scenes and let a doctor talk to the woman, because not everybody goes through that. So now she's cut off a lot of people from wanting to have kids or putting fear in their life because it might happen to them. And if it does, if you had a real doctor, you wouldn't have to worry about anything because of modern day medicine. However, why would you be interested in someone who waves their fingers around? There's your first sign. Why would you be interested in that? Why would you be interested in, and why you, as people who are hard of hearing or who do sign language, why wouldn't you say something? Because that is this here, this shit is distinct, is a form of communication, is it not, for you, for those of you who can't hear? Or those of you who can't hear or speak? Is this not a form of communication? Is it? More? Consider that these people are doing some really bad shit with your mental instability because they've created instability and then capitalized off of a global crisis and then did nothing but act as if they were old ass. They're literally our old asses. See, Ken Craddock doesn't understand that your job at 20 is to party and have fun, go to the gym and do easy, like have a tough, easy life. It's tough, but you don't lead because you don't have any skill to lead. Choo Choo didn't understand that. He's like, well, we'll just let everybody go viral who deserves to go viral, and we'll do extortion and all these other horrific crimes, and then we'll blame the Constitution for it while the Democrats are trying to overcome the Republicans. And then you're like, well, we'll just follow along with them because they're super friendly and I love the way they talk so soft. Sorry, but that's not how all people talk. That's why the world of the United States of America is so wonderful, is because you get to be you and you get to be you, and we come together and we get to have conversations. And they're not always agreed upon, but they are definitely interesting to watch in a way that's scientific and intellectual. And these people have taken all of that out so that Mona Van can stand on a fucking microphone and have staged questions so she can be on her reality TV show that nobody's interested in. And that even means that Gary Vaynerchuk's business is failing. He was failing, his business was failing when I met him. And then it all of a sudden skyrocketed into success, and then she tapped into that energy and then rode it out, and now she's destroyed his business. So you're on your own, dude, because I don't play these fucking games. The next question you want to ask yourself is, why would you be interested in watching a woman slap cabinets, slap plates on a table, tap their fingernails on bottles and makeup when it's doing nothing for you except for robbing you of your peacefulness? They're robbing you of peace, and that's how they take it from you. And then they say, wow, that video got like 1 million views, and let me copy her, and let's get instigation going here, because anger brings them attention. And that's what Gary Vee and Mona Van has done to build their empire. That's a separate empire over there, because I'm not even involved in that shit. Now, I'm here to bring awareness into what they're up to. Sorry, dude, I don't give a fuck. No, she doesn't give a fuck, but she actually gives a fuck. They're all crying in shame and guilt and wallowing in pain and viciousness because you are all very aware of what's actually going on here, except they won't admit and live in the light of awareness because nobody wants to speak up. Nobody wants to speak up. That's because you're all weak. Because it is a lot of fucking work to speak up against these people, and this is the machine That means you are a sheep. And this is what we've been